My first question is obviously kind of a tough way to end the season. What was it about Lehigh and the way they played that made it such a challenging game?
Yeah, I think, they spread us out a little bit, defensively, and they kind of exploited our center and Marin and Riley kind of going downhill, or just kind of catch and shoot, turn and face. And we were a little bit afraid of the, I think, threes. So we didn't want to, sit on that high post too much and give up wide open threes. But we made some adjustments there in the second half, and obviously that second quarter we were able to kind of go on a little bit of a run. And then when our top shooters, Katie goes 4 for 16 and Maggie goes 2 for 11, it makes it tough for us. And even Sid going 6 for 17, she'd been playing so well and making shots, and she made some great plays at the end there. But I think we've seen this kind of story before. When shots aren't going in for us, it's a lot harder for us to win, which seems kind of like a silly thing to say, but that's kind of the truth of the matter.
What do you, I guess, say to your players in the locker room after this? Because obviously, I mean, you gave it 100% all the way. What do you kind of tell them after a loss like this?
Yeah, I just told them I'm incredibly proud of them, and obviously not the outcome that we're looking for, but I think that we left everything that we had on the floor, and that's all I wanted from them. And now they got a taste of what it's like to be in the championship, and we also now know what we have to do individually to take a big step forward here this summer. Someone coming to get you, Ethan?
No, sorry, someone's just moving something. I just want to make sure. No, you're all good.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I don't know if we just said help, but yeah. So just we all, myself included, we need to take a step forward this summer. And I think the other thing is it showed that when we play a pretty small bench, right? They had a deeper bench and they had a more experienced team, and so. I think that came back to get us a little bit too, but we'll be a year older next year. All our sophomores coming back as juniors, and our freshmen didn't have at all a freshman season like we would hoped, and so I'm really excited about what they're going to be able to bring in the future. And we've got four other kids coming in, so you hate to try to turn the page, but there's nothing else. You can't go back, right? So now we just got to look forward.
Marissa, it's Carl.
Hey, Carl.
I'll go now.
Okay.
You've been in some tough locker rooms during your time in Connecticut. How tough was this one, when you've worked so hard to get in a position to get to the tournament? And, of course, this time you're the one that has to talk.
Yeah, they don't have a book for that, right? What you're supposed to say. I felt a bit stunned, I think. Not stunned like I didn't think we could lose, but I think this has been such an incredibly challenging year, as you mentioned. This is not the norm, right? So being in those locker rooms at UConn when that happens, we had a full summer and preseason, and there was no pandemic, there were no masks, there was none of these things that we've kind of contended with, and social justice and all of these things. And so I think I'm just, I wanted to make sure that I conveyed to them how proud I was, but I also wanted to allow them to, feel what they were feeling without kind of trying to, say, okay, it's time to move on. They get to feel those feelings because I think that's part of the experience too, right? So, you don't want to feel like this again.
I'm usually around teams that, it doesn't really matter what happens in the conference tournament. Probably from October, you have to win your conference tournament, that your season comes down to, 3 games. How difficult is that? And how do you, prepare for any ups and downs that, the ups getting to the championship, the downs, not reaching the goal? And how difficult is that?
Yeah, I think again, this year was such a bizarre year because normally, in a conference season, you play everybody at least twice. And so you would have kind of a roadmap of sorts to say, okay, we played them at their place, we played them at our place, we know kind of what worked, what didn't work, and all that kind of stuff. And, I think you saw in this game is pretty low scoring. Both of our teams are pretty high scoring teams, but I think you have nerves, but you also have teams who both had not played against each other this whole year, based off how the Patriot League had structured our conference season due to COVID. And so in that way, I think it was, yeah, and same thing, Lafayette, we played one time. So it's just a little bit strange in that way. I think on a normal year, you would have a better feel for the teams. So even that being said, there's an incredible amount of pressure, right? It's literally win or go home. And so I think the moment was a really big moment for our kids. And, I have to kind of step back and try to, figure out, did I get them ready for that moment? Or, was it too big for them to handle in kind of the stage that they are in their college careers? So, I want to believe that I did, but clearly I came up a little bit short.
Obviously, it's difficult for the players and everything they've gone through, but it can't be easy for a coach to everything that's gone on this season. What did you learn from this experience, if you can reflect very quickly, and how has it made you a better coach?
Yeah, I think I've learned that, like, if you can get your kids to believe in something bigger than themselves and buy into something that's bigger than themselves, no matter the amount of years that you've been coaching them, you have a chance to be really successful. I mean, to think that when I got here, our team was picked ninth, and we've 2 years in a row now finished second, and had a really young team and had a lot of success. We're building a program, right? We're not just kind of a flash in the pan type of deal. And so I think that I've learned that. And, to be a better coach, I think they've pushed me to understand how to use their skill sets to be successful. So we're not going to just run a system that doesn't make us successful. And so I think I've had to kind of think outside the box and continue to grow and learn, and diversify my basketball kind of portfolio to become a better coach and a better motivator, a better communicator, all of those things. And and understanding that the emotions of this game, I think that they got the best of all of us that first half because they wanted it so bad. And once we settled in the second half, I feel like we kind of could take a deep breath. But again, that's that gravity of the moment, and you got to kind of be able to keep your composure